We're back on Poke Nation. Heath Schroyer, Jim Gazzolo.
Here we go.
Why are you always so excited?
Because,
always so excited.
Hey, like,
Can't you
it's
have
a
a
great
bad day?
Well, some days we do, but
As we're taping, it's raining. Can you have a bad day?
Oh, stop. I mean, this
Give me one
I get
bad
to see
day.
you, man. This is why I'm so excited.
My goodness. Oh, jeez. All right, I got to ask you this.
Let's do it.
A couple of NCAA questions for you because you are the NCAA guru of the area.
Okay.
Like, what do we mean? You stole the league here? You got everything coming here?
Okay, all right.
All right. Your take on why we didn't expand, why the NCAA didn't expand in football to 12 teams. Is that politics?
I think so,
Stupidity,
for sure. Or? You know, I wish they would. I hope they revisit it in the future. But I don't know. I think, obviously, that it is politics. And, you know, but we'll see. I mean, you know, it's in today's world, everything changes by the hour, by the day, by the week. So, you know, we'll see what happens in the future.
You say that all the time.
Is it not true?
All right, the Southland tournament is done.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, it will be here.
How about that?
One time you're going to have to tell the world how you pulled that rabbit out of a hat. But
so it was a lot. But
it does put a target on all of your teams.
For sure, it does.
But now the pressure is on for you guys. What's it mean to host a tournament?
Well, first of all, I think you can't really put a number on the economic impact that it will have for this community. Because you have all of these teams and all the fans and the referees in the league coming to Lake Charles. They have to stay in hotel rooms. They have to eat. The economic impact for a community that really, really needs it, and I've said this to you before, was the #1 reason why I pushed so hard to have it for 4 years and have the first right of refusal after that.
Yeah, you say it's for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But what was that second part?
We get first right of refusal.
Well, why would you refuse it?
I would never refuse it. So as long as I'm here, I want to host the basketball tournament. I'm not going to lie, for sure. And
baseball, softball.
Absolutely. But here's the big thing, though, is you're going to have linear ESPN on your campus and in your community for 4 straight years. They get to film, obviously, the facilities.
Yeah.
They're going to take shots of this community. They're going to take shots of the university. There's no marketing arm in this university that's a bigger marketing tool than having the NCAA, a chance to go to the NCAA tournament, get played on your campus for 4 straight years in linear ESPN. You can't buy it.
And also because they will be in the community taking photos.
Absolutely.
There's some pressure to fix some things, too.
There's some pressure to do that, absolutely. But I will tell you this. You're right, there is pressure. I mean, but we do get to host a tournament. And I'll make no bones about it. When the Hurricanes came, this was one of the hardest basketball jobs in the country because we didn't have a facility. You know, we didn't have offices. We didn't have any of that stuff. Now, 180 degrees, I think we have one of, if not the best, low major, mid-major job in the country because you get to host the conference tournament on your floor to go to the NCAA tournament. There's nowhere else in the country that you don't have to win the regular season in order to host, but we're going to host here. It's a big deal.
And it's a good recruiting tool.
Absolutely. I mean, you're telling all the kids, hey, we
never have to leave campus.
That's right. But I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, too. Mark my words. The league is going to be upset for a while because they have to come here. But when they come here...
Well, some people in the league are already upset, yeah.
But when they come here, and the fans come here, and you go to the casinos, it's a great weather this time of year, and you see the restaurants and all the things that we have to offer, would you rather go back to Katy, or would you rather just come to Lake Charles? There's no one in this league that wouldn't say, I'd rather go to Lake Charles and watch basketball than go to Katy. Now, coaches might.
Wow.
And it's the same thing that happened when I coached at UNLV. Everyone complained. Then the league moved it to Denver for 2 years, and then everyone unanimously said, no, put it back into Thomas and Mack and put it back in Los Angeles.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think and you're going to see that. We saw that when we used to host the Football Media Day.
Yeah.
And we'll see that again when we start hosting Football Media Day Lake Charles.
This year.
So now your next big goal is what? Bring the league commissioner's office here?
So, what's your next question? I would love the league to come here.
I mean, why is it in Frisco, Texas?
It's centrally located.
So where?
It makes all the
here. Yeah.
If it was here, it makes all the sense in the world. But you know, we'll see.
Then you could get them to build up your football stadium and actually host the national championship there. Then you got everything. Then we will rename the place Schwerville. How's that for you? We'll rename.
You're unreal.
What?
No, jeez.
Hey, Todd Butler is going to join us.
How about that? You want to laugh? If you want to laugh, bring Todd Butler in, right?
We can laugh at him or with him, one of the two things. When we come back, we'll have Todd Butler right after this on Poke Nation.
Welcome back to Poke Nation. Well, we wanted to laugh, so we brought in Todd Butler. Coach Butler, great to have you back on Poke Nation.
Good to have you, Coach. Good to have you back. Good to see you, Jimbo.
I don't shake hands.
Yeah, you don't shake hands. Okay.
I'm not a hand guy.
All right, so
Jim's the baseball guru.
Oh, I know. Listen, off camera, you guys are just like...
Yeah, we're talking baseball, talking hitting.
You get two baseball guys together. It's probably like basketball guys. You just sit there and you talk about things that no other sports guy can understand.
Exactly.
For sure.
Basketball
because it's a different game.
He's been indoors his whole life. We've been outside.
Well, it's not an athletic
Indoor
game.
Guy.
That's what I was telling people. It's not an athletic game. It's a skilled game.
It is a skilled game.
Gotcha.
It's a fact.
Well, listen, Coach, obviously we got you on here because we're right in the middle of baseball and softball.
Yep.
And you're the sports administrator for those two. Talk about from your role now, obviously in season, what does that look like? Talk to Poke Nation about, you know, how your role as an administrator with those two sports, and they're both rolling right now.
Well, I love the two coaches and the programs that they've built and the mentality of their players. I mean, when you talk about a student athlete with softball and baseball, the time they spend working to create their skill in the game, because Jim and I both think that baseball and softball, it's a skill that you have to practice continuous hours. And but the coaches, Landreneau and Coach Hill, Coach Landreneau and Coach Hill, they're awesome. I'm very fortunate to be over those sports. I try to stay out of their way.
Sure.
They know what they're doing, but it's my favorite time of the year. I can put in headphones, go down the left field line, listen to games that are being on radio, and watch our teams play. Spring is right around the corner. When spring, you know, when the weather starts getting warmer, the ball starts to leave the park.
Yes.
Guys start throwing harder with the heat, and it's a fun time. So, you know, I watched us play Louisiana Tech this weekend. The guys did a great job in baseball, responding yesterday and coming out with a victory, and really enjoyed watching Foster, our closer, yesterday, who I think has a chance to be a draft pick if he continues to stay healthy and improving. He has a big league arm with a big league breaking ball, and he shut down Louisiana Tech for the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. But we're starting to hit some home runs. Julian Gonzalez hit 2 against Southern last week, and we have a big weekend series. We play LSU on Tuesday in baseball, chance of rain. Then we play Cal State Northridge this weekend, who beat Stanford last Friday.
Yeah, I want to get into that because one of the things those sports, particularly baseball and softball, have done over the last couple of years is who they've brought into the area. You're bringing Cal State Northridge in. You have brought numerous good programs in for softball. What does that do for your programs, but also what does it do for the community and to brand the school?
Well, I think it's fantastic because as a player, you have to see the higher level to be it. We've played Oklahoma twice in softball, who is #1 ranked
team. #1 in the country.
Won the national championship last year. We played Texas. Last year we played Baylor. You know, Coach Landreneau does not back down.
He doesn't back down for anybody.
In fact, a year ago, you know, they'd played all those top 10 teams, and we're in every game, but we didn't win many. And I told him, I said, you set the schedule, so don't get mad at the girls. But, you know, they responded late in the year and won the conference tournament. But, you know, everyone knows in this area of Southwest Louisiana, and I've been around the country in baseball, there is so much talent down here. Last Friday alone, there were commitments from McNeese, LSU, Texas A&M, Louisiana Tech, Tulane, all these, Lafayette. There's players from all in this area that are going Division I to play baseball, whether it's softball or baseball.
Yeah.
So, but to bring in those power teams, I think it's great for our fans. I think we had a really good crowd on Friday night for Louisiana Tech. So I hope that people want to come out and watch us as the weather warms up.
Well, Coach, let me ask you this, and we still call each other Coach, which is because you always, you know, no matter what, you know, over 20-some, 30 years, that's what you do. Talk about, in your perspective, the transition from being a coach to being an administrator, and why do you think that has made you successful in helping, you know, the two sports that you're over?
Well, it starts with you. It starts with Dr. Burkell, Dr. Roos, our administration. You know, after the hurricanes, we're trying to get back and be better than we were. It's fun to come to work. I enjoy my job. You know, people ask me all the time, do I miss coaching? I miss the players. Sure. I miss being in the batting cage and working with guys and just being around young people. So for me to have this opportunity to be home with family, with my mom and sisters, where my kids grew up here in Lake Charles, it's been a blessing for me. It's been fantastic. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I've enjoyed watching basketball, meeting everyone that comes to the Platinum Club, you know, football, the End Zone Club, just being around first-class people that support McNeese State University, and they want us to do even more. So everything that you guys have done in activating the community, because I see how hard you work and everyone else above you. It's relentless energy that goes into it. At times, to be honest, I watch you work and I get tired because I watch you work so hard. Now, Jim's going to go off on it. But no, I mean, the people that are working here.
I didn't know you were up for, I didn't know your contract was up.
Hey, I'm day to day. When you get fired twice in 11 months coaching baseball and you come home, hey, you're trying to do your job. But, you know, I'm thankful to be here, and I'm really proud of McNeese State University, and I'm excited about our coaches that we have and the new hires, and you know, I think it's fun. It's been really good.
When we come back on Polk Nation, we'll have more with Todd Butler after this. We're back on Polk Nation, or I guess this is called the Make Heath Feel Good Club.
The abuse I take every single week. Golly.
But one of the things that baseball and softball, I know the other sports are playing catch up somewhat. Baseball and softball, the last couple of years have been kind of the cornerstones for this university. Getting the names up, getting some national attention. What does that say for you? Well,
Baseball and softball has always been good here. You go back 20 years. I think because of the area, being in the South, it's warm. Kids know how to play. It's huge for, I felt when I coached here that we could have been a Cal State Fullerton. You know, Cal State Fullerton didn't have football. And Cal State Fullerton back in the years used to go to Omaha pretty often. Now that this Power 5 thing has happened, the NIL paying players and all this stuff like that, you haven't seen Cal State Fullerton in Omaha since probably 2009, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, it's a little bit tougher to get there for a mid-major type school. But baseball and softball, with the coaches and the players that are in this area, being close to Texas, being in the South, they get players. And these two programs have recruited very well and recruited locally. And I think that's a big key also. But, you know, they've been good for decades. So it doesn't surprise me the success that Coach Hill and Coach Landry have had.
We should mention the fact that you have a premier high school baseball program nationally down the road. With actually on the same street, McNeese, in Barb.
Barb is Glenn Cicchini. You know, to tell you about him, his energy level. I've known him for 30-something years when we both started coaching in this area, and his energy's still the same. I don't know how he does it, but he does a fantastic job.
Is he the best coach in the family?
No, Raisa is the best coach in the family, and she trained those young boys to be first-rounders back in the day. So, but you know, you have Sulphur High, Sam Houston. I can go with St. Louis. I can go on and on. There's so many good programs, and then you know, outside of Lake Charles, you know, Kinder, Rose Pine. There's good programs everywhere with good players.
So let me ask you this, Coach. Let's stay on that topic. So, is it because of the youth? The youth organizations, because you know when I moved here, you learn really quickly that baseball here, when you're a little kid, I mean, it's a big deal. When did all that start? Was it like that 30 years ago when you were here? Like, what is that really why the talent in this area is so rich?
I think so. When I was a 10-year-old kid, we played in the Dixie Youth World Series that we hosted. We had guys from that team played in the big leagues with Sulphur. So you had Mid-City that was really good back then. Now you have travel baseball where kids pay to play, much like golf. It's a much different game now. And these kids start working extremely early in their career. I mean, I think when you turn 14 to 15 years old, I think that's when people divide. They stay on the path of baseball or they get off the path. And I think that's the age where kids really take off. But the coaching here from the little kids, you know, being from Sulphur and watching our youth organizations and our coaches over there, these people are serious about it. These teams will play 80 games in the summer. They play more games than a college baseball team. So, you know, and being in the South, the one thing that I noticed being in the Midwest, where you're from, and being in the South, kids can throw better down here and they run faster, it seems to be. As you move further north, they're inside more. They don't get to long toss and do all the things that a baseball player needs to do. But also, there are first-rounders in the Midwest and throughout the country.
Well, the difference now in the Midwest is you're seeing indoor facilities spring up that is completely different.
And that's changed a lot. And the facilities are so much better. You know, back when I played here, they were chain-link fence with little bleachers, and you didn't have a batting cage. And, I mean, everyone has those facilities now.
Let me ask you this, Coach. Let's back to McNeese. What do you think has made Coach Hill and Coach Landreneau so successful? Obviously, you're the administrator that's over those sports, so you see them on a daily basis. What do they both do? And maybe it's the same, maybe it's different, but because we both know there's multiple ways to skin a cat, but what has made those two so successful?
Well, they're a little bit different from each other, but they're both the same. I think they're very much detail-oriented. They really know how to practice and set up this practice schedules. I mean, Hill played at LSU. Landreneau, you know, he's made his way from coaching little kids all the way up in with bullet baseball. So they have a deep intelligence of baseball from being around the people they've been around. But in the, you know, the area also makes them better. Being in Southwest Louisiana also makes them better because of the talent-rich players that we have here. But, you know, watching softball, which I'll go out and watch practice, which I enjoy, I mean, these girls work. They really work hard, and they work a lot, and it's a strong commitment to be a softball player at McNeese because Coach Landreneau, I mean, he has a ceiling that he wants these players to reach. Same thing with Coach Hill. You know, softball through the hurricane kind of made it through it a little bit better than baseball. We're still trying to get baseball back as far as facilities, and we're getting close to that. So the programs have been really good, and I enjoyed last year getting to go watch them play in a regional. And that's really, as a baseball or softball player, you want to play in postseason because that's really when the magic starts to happen.
Yeah, that's the one difference. It's amazing what a difference 3 or 4 blocks of the two facilities are because of how they got hit by the storm. When we come back, we'll get Coach's final words on Polk Nation after this. We're back on Polk Nation. Todd Butler, always entertaining.
It's great. He's such a great guy. Like in the office, I have an unbelievable staff. You know, Tanner, Bridget, you know, Mel, Todd, like Matt. But, you know, and all the personalities.
Does everybody love each other down there? Is it a big love fest?
We have a great staff, and all the personalities really fit.
One week you're talking about great your staff is, the other week you're talking about taking out coaches to breakfast.
I mean, you know.
It sounded like the man was looking for a raise. That's all I'm going to say. It sounds like the man was looking for a raise. Numerous things coming up in the summer. I got a couple of questions from people that are fans. That I want to throw at you.
Let's do it.
One was, and somebody asked me the other night at the baseball game, what's the status on the press box of the football field?
Well, they're taking it down piece by piece. But
that has started.
It has started. But it is a slow process. I would be lying to you to say, like, we're still on schedule for 23, but I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you I wasn't worried about it. And I'm hoping, you know, and they're still saying 23, but it is a very, very slow process. And
well, I think building it will be easier than
for sure. I think so too. I mean, you know, the plans are there. We have everything's ready to go. It's just getting them to. I mean, it's just like everything else: the labor, materials, all that. But you know,
and everything's going up in price.
And no one wants to hear that. And hey, I don't want to, you know, push the panic button. But I still think we'll be in 23. But I'd be lying if I'm not starting to get a little bit worried about that.
What about the lights?
We will have lights next year no matter what.
Okay.
Even if we got to import them and put them up and they're temporary, we're going to have lights because McNeese football plays at 7 o'clock in the hole on Saturday nights.
Can't get you 6 o'clock.
No, 7 o'clock. We play at 7 o'clock here at McNeese.
Killing me.
That's what we do.
Absolutely, you're absolutely
Louisiana Saturday nights, baby. That's what we do.
Absolutely killing me. Absolutely. I'll take 6:45. I'll take anything. The other question was, you are going to bring back the Friday nights, correct?
100%, yes. And the bands are booked.
The band's already booked?
Oh yeah, I got one left to go, but it's going to be great. And I really think that this year it's going to even take off more because again, you know, it takes a while for people to get used to it and understand what it is. But the bands that we have contracted, it's a level up. It's going to be awesome.
My question now, this is now my question.
Sure.
Is you want to play at 7 o'clock? I get that.
We do.
Does the league or does the ESPN deal with the streaming ever change your game times?
No, unless unless it's an ESPN2 game or linear.
It would have to be linear,
right? It had to be linear ESPN, and at that point, then if ESPN calls and says, "Hey, we want to play this game on national TV," then obviously that takes precedent.
Well, I mean, let's go advanced and you make the playoffs and that.
Sure.
They're going to dictate the playoff times.
Yeah, the TV at that point does.
Yeah, well,
yes.
I want people to understand that when you guys move that, it's not you guys moving it.
Absolutely, right.
Because they'll come screaming at you.
No, but when you look back at the tradition of McNeese football, and you look at what we've done with Coach Goff and what I believe he will bring to this program. It's just, let's go back to tradition. Let's go back to when we were really, really good. And, we play at 7 o'clock, and then we have the Friday night block party. People have a little chance to wake up. Then we can have a Bloody Mary. You have a whole day of tailgating, and then you play again. And that's what weekends for football is supposed to be about, and we're going to bring that here. That's what it's about. It's what it's about.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just looking at the overall time frame for my life. That's all. But somebody's got to worry about me.
I know.
I don't got Todd Butler coming in here telling me how great I am.
But here's the thing. He's a great dude, brother. He's awesome. But here's the thing. 10, 15 years ago, the newspaper was really important. I'm not saying the newspaper is not important, but people get the scores now on their phone. They read stuff on the phone.
I agree.
I would prefer to the paper.
I would prefer if the paper were to do that and just take my story when it's done and post it right away.
I wish they would.
I'm going to work on that.
There you go. See?
I'm a nobody, though. I'm a nobody.
You get
well, that comes back to my whole point about you guys have to kind of assume that role yourself almost.
We do.
Yeah, and that's the future of where you guys, and where you should take Polk Nation.
Absolutely. But it's all those little things.
Yeah,
we talked about it, Jim, for the longest we've known each other. We were behind in a lot of areas. When I took over, there's no question. But I think that all the things we've done, we're catching up. We're catching up. We're getting there.
And you're getting everything here.
For sure. And I'm telling you, Saturday night in the home, woo! Can't wait. And we're going to throw that thing around.
I hate the score. I hate the cannon.
Cannon's going to go off. I love it.
Are you going to have the Parapokes again?
For sure. We're going to have it all.
Remember, the Parapokes once landed at the wrong field.
And don't forget the Gatsby.
They once landed. Remember, they once landed on the wrong field. We'll see you next time on Polk Nation next week.